All right, we are live and ready and excited about this interview. This is Todd Cahill. Thank you so much for being on and watching. And as you come to this stream, go ahead and comment just your name and maybe where you're watching in from. But excited again to be with my partner in crime, Emmanuel Zabios here, who is in the great state of Utah. I'm here in Las Vegas, not too far from each other. But really excited to talk a little bit about 5 different topics that at least one of them you're going to be struggling with right now. There's no doubt about it. So as you're joining us, welcome. Definitely excited to really start this kind of webinar, StreamYard, if you will. And again, welcome. Go ahead and comment. Just want to make sure we are live here. Okay. Let's see here. All right, just live. Are you on your laptop, Manuel?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. Great.
Good times.
That's over there. All right, cool. Well, I'll just get right there. There we go. We're good. Now we're live. Okay. So we're here. Let's rock and roll. Those of you that don't know Emmanuel Zabios, he is the #1 body code practitioner, highest practice in the world. What that means is he is certified in the emotion code, which is a modality. He's certified in the body code, which is a modality that he uses on his clients. And he has thousands and thousands of clients all over the world. He's been practicing for about 6 years. And he definitely knows a lot about what people struggle with. He knows a lot about the physical side of the body, what people struggle with. He knows a lot about the emotional side of what people struggle with. So what we want to do is we're both co-founders of the Inside Out Institute. And what we want to do is we have also, and myself being a leadership coach, we have seen what people struggle with most. And what we want to do is add tremendous value, and we want to show what we can offer people as far as a place to get the help that they need right away in 5 different areas of their life. So Emmanuel, thanks so much for joining me. Love to pass it to you a little bit, your vision, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right. So first of all, I'm grateful to be here. Obviously I sent an email to Todd, a memo to both, wear black shirts. So we're glad that we're, kind of all in black here. But I'm just grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for your leadership. For those of you who are, Todd's pretty humble about himself, but he's done some very big things in businesses from home, made millions of dollars, helped thousands of people all over the world. And I'm just grateful to be in an association with you, buddy. And so, I'm looking forward to, kind of share what Inside Out's doing. See, I've been doing emotion code, body code work for over 6 years. And here's what I found out is that, they say if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. And so I think what we wanted to do with Inside Out Institute is we wanted to create a way where there's certain people that love sort of a niche market. There's some people that they really love working on relationships. And in the emotion code world, just in general, there's people that, for example, they work with autistic people, or there's some people that work with the animals only, But what we wanted to do is Todd and I thought about it, how do we really want to help the world out? And we all have these 5 different areas in our lives. Some are imbalanced, some are doing really well. But the thing is if we can target those areas and have specific people that help you out because they specialize in it, that's what we want to do with these 5 divisions. So maybe Todd, you can kind of explain a little bit how these 5 divisions work.
Yeah, absolutely. We have certified energy healers and also coaches, and I'll take the first division is romantic relationships. Now, I'm not really so much the expert on that. All I know is I love it, and I always want one, right? A great romantic relationship with a great partner, a great spouse. But if you look at the world and the way it is, obviously there's more divorces, there's more breakups, there's more domestic violence, there's just a lot of abuse when it comes to this particular division, if you will, part of your life. Now, I'm not saying all of us struggle with this. Some of you are probably fantastic at this, and you probably need to help us out and really maybe even, share your story more because people need to hear it. But this, I think, is going to be our #1 division, because if your relationships are right with a partner, a spouse, or, a wife or husband, it makes everything else better. What's that saying, man? Happy wife, happy life,
Yep.
I don't think I think that's the most truest statement there is on planet Earth. It is true.
Definitely.
And I think happy wife, happy husband. Yeah. And I think husbands can really go crush it in their business and finances and all the other areas of their life when they have a happy relationship. So talk to me a little bit about that, Emmanuel. What does a happy relationship do for an individual, and how can maybe they get healing from that specifically instead of just overall?
Yeah, they also say that happy house, happy spouse. I don't know if you've ever heard that one, or if there's another one that says
Hmm.
that behind every good man is a surprised woman. But that doesn't have to do with what we're talking about. But what I want to share is that in regards to
Hmm.
relationships, it's really really important that we realize that we're not bringing just our personalities, because a lot of us are very good at the facade. Bill Murray said once, he said, if you really want to know a woman, it's like go take them on vacation for a whole entire year. And if you still love each other after a year, get married with her. Well, I want to correct Bill Murray a little bit, even though I love him. The thing is that if you're spending too much time on vacation, you're probably not dealing with baggage. That's why I love these shows on the internet where they're on
Hmm.
vacation at first, but then they have to go back to real life. That's when it gets really interesting. The in-laws, time management, jobs, stress about money, all those things play a factor into relationships. But the thing that no one talks about, which I wish was government endorsed, like before you get married, you have to remove your emotional trauma before you go in there, is emotion code and body code work, which is the skeletons in your closet are the last relationships energies that you created. So if you don't remove those
Hmm.
energies, you're bringing literally those energetic skeletons into your next relationship, and you're wondering why you get triggered a lot. You're wondering why you get upset a lot. You wonder why there's contention, is because you're waking up the energies that you produce in the last relationship.
That's so true. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's easy to get long on vacation, but what about like when you're busy and maybe your spouse is busy and you have kids and maybe it's a mixed family and there's responsibilities and stuff like that. That's when you can kind of lose your you know what, and maybe anger creeps in or resentment creeps in, and then you
Yeah.
have this challenge and everything kind of blows up. Well, let's talk about the second division is health and wellness. With the body code, what you do, obviously, you're very top in that. So, talk to me about like health and wellness and body code with that modality of how you even can know what someone needs in their supplementation. Even you can kind of figure out in a conversation over the phone what they're lacking, and you can recommend certain like nutritional products and supplements. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I think health and wellness is it's a lifestyle. It's not something that you just
Hmm.
you don't want to eat like 7 apples in one day, on Sunday, because that's just not really going to be functional for your body. So I think what's really important is people have to realize that 70 to 80% of disease that we're dealing with here is due to emotional trauma. But this is the sad part, is as we receive more emotional trauma and as we get triggered more, then our cortisol goes really high. And when our cortisol, because we have a pandemic right now, even before COVID, the
Hmm.
pandemic is excess cortisol. People are stressed out. They don't know the difference between your boss yelling at you and running from a bear. That's a problem. So when you're doing that, all of a sudden your organs are out of whack. Everything is dysfunctional, and you're like an airplane on a tailspin. So by removing emotional trauma from your organs and your glands and from your tissues, you can start regulating your body again. And so we want to provide at InsideOut Institute just amazing people who love to work with the body and to improve it. And literally, people have had you know uh, irritable bowel syndrome, headaches, all these different things, and they don't realize like they don't have to take an aspirin,
Hmm.
they don't have to take a pill. So I think it's just important that we have a modality that can
Hmm.
help out with that, and also we can recommend products. For example, like we partnered up with a company that provides this green blue algae, patented, that basically allows you to live in high frequency. It's one of the most highest frequency products you can use, and we can successfully endorse that to you,
Hmm.
because we want people to not only just use your energies to remove it, but also your diet and your health are very very important. I know you're a big health guy as
I
well.
love
So
that. And it's so true.
what can you say about? I know you're a big health guy. What can you say about health and wellness yourself? Like, what have you noticed that the body code can help you out with, and maybe
Yeah.
recommending things that people need?
Yeah, well, we don't really know what our body needs because we're all different people, like as far as supplements and nutrition. And some people are vegans and they shouldn't really be vegans, but they're more vegans because of maybe political reasons or maybe their own beliefs about animals. But they actually really need meat. We don't, it's really your blood type. So the body code for me has helped me identify what's good for me as an individual. But also, it's definitely a lifestyle, like you said, like a lifestyle meaning you versus your routine, like from You Versus You, my book, and like my workout is always in my routine. My meal planning is always in my routine. Drinking more water is in my routine. So it really, that lifestyle, your daily fortune is found in your daily routine. So if you want to be wealthy in all aspects of your life, you got to plan it out. Like if I want a great marriage, if I want a great body, I have to plan both out. I have to give wife time, and then I have to give my body time. If I want more financial abundance, I got to plan out how to actually, make money and what I'm going to do and position myself to make good money in the way that I want to make good money. So it is all a lifestyle. But I want to bring up money too, because when you make more money, you can have a better lifestyle. You can actually afford more organic, and you can shop at better stores instead of Walmart. I mean, not there's some good stuff at Walmart, but there's a lot better stuff at Whole Foods. So money is very important. So talk to me a little bit about people's what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say mindset. It's kind of like maybe their fixed mindset, I should say, or just the way of emotionally not being able to receive money because they come from this inherited money's bad, money doesn't grow on trees. So our third division is our financial abundance and manifestation. What I learned from you is once I can start really clearing my heart walls, which doesn't take one day, it takes session after session after session to clear my heart walls. And I might have to revisit that down the road too. It's not like one and done. But once I can clear that, I'm now starting to really getting in alignment with my mind and my heart, where I can think bigger and I can be more an abundant thinker and manifest and know what I deserve and just know and expect things to actually happen. And they are happening for me, like actually, you've seen it first and foremost. But tell me a little bit about that side of the emotion code when it comes to financial abundance.
So when it comes to financial abundance, I think what most people don't know is that knowledge is not going to save us. Knowing about how to acquire money or how to start a business and everything like that comes with the price though. The thing is the way we learned about money is through our subconscious. And I've always told people before is that you have no idea how much your family before has maybe cursed you in regards to moving forward. And it's kind of a sad thing that really what it was meant to warn you. I want to give you guys a really quick example of this is, I love this example. I don't love the fact that this rat got hurt in the experiment. That's not my favorite part, but a rat did get hurt in this experiment where they shocked the rat in a maze. And then they took the rat out, and then the rat had a baby, and they put the baby inside this maze, and this baby stopped at the same place the mother got shocked. Because it recognized something, the body felt something, and that's called an inherited energy from that mother to the child. And they've found out in studies that goes up to 12, 13 generations deep on just low-grade animals, but it can go up to 30, 40, 50 generations to humans. Right. So the thing is what was the real reason of that energy was to basically warn, be careful with the shock in this corner in the area. Similar to a great-great-great-grandfather, the reason why their subconscious passed the energy down to you is be careful starting a business because you'll probably fail. But the problem is if that energy is strong within you, you could sabotage yourself and never start that business. So no matter how much you read about making a business, if you have an energy and something you're allergic to something or you're reactive to something, it's hard to actually produce the results because you're only you're doing everything based on knowledge, and so you're not really paying attention to your subconscious. So that's my job is why do people sabotage themselves so frequently? And it's because they have these energies that just really don't assist them in what they're learning. It doesn't catch up to the learning yet. And so that's something we want to kind of help people out with Inside Out Institute is that you need a coach. You need a healer, a coach to tell you, hey, this is how you should think of money, think of business, think of abundance. But you also need the backup. It's almost like the behind the website. You need all that code in there to help the website look nice. And that's exactly what we do.
Absolutely. So that brings me to my fourth one and really the fifth one, because I know we got to run because I have a 4 o'clock here. So branding, our next division is this thing called branding, and everyone wants to be a brand right now. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, we grew up with Nike and Reebok and Adidas and, I'm trying to think of the 80s and 90s. I mean, there's so many different brands out there, like Vision Streetwear for skating, and Vans is such a brand. I love Vans. I mean, I'm such a fan. I own tons of Vans shoes. I think they're the best workout shoes there are. But that started in the 70s or the 80s, and then now it's like the hottest brand in 2021. But they've been around since like the 80s, and they kind of like died down but went up. So branding is hot. When you have a hot brand, it's awesome. So now people are trying to brand themselves. But what I always ask myself about when someone comes to me with coaching about the brand is, are you that brand? meaning do you really live up to what you say you actually are on social media, you versus your persona? And I think there's so many brands out there. When someone brands themselves, and I've been down that road too. I've been guilty of it too. Like, we're preaching healing and we're preaching coaching, but I'm not even living true in a lot of areas of my life. So before we really build a brand, I think we really need to start building ourselves. So talk to me about your philosophy on that, about really social media, branding. But once you actually start to heal and once you really start to really get on fire, how that can take off and really help other people pretty fast.
So from what I've read and my work that I've done is like, lack of authenticity can cause brain damage. Like when you're doing something, but your body's saying that's not me at all. There's something going on. There's a disconnect. There's a dissonance happening in the body. And the whole goal is like, and I love what Todd, you said one day, is like, you said like, I want to be authentic to myself as I'm authentic to others. I want to like have that authenticity in every area of your life. I love that, man. That's a goal that we should all have. And I really feel like when it comes to your brand is what type of people are you attracting? Because here's the reality: is you only attract who you are. Everyone says it, but no one knows how to change it. So again, I love those quotes, and they make me feel good, and I feel all fuzzy inside. But those quotes don't mean jack squat if you're not actually changing and increasing your frequency. By the way, I'll share with you this last thing that David Hawkins, for example, talks about the map of consciousness and how we're all in these different levels, 0 to 1,000. Some of the higher elevated people like Buddha and Jesus, they were on the higher range between 700 to 1,000. But it actually talks about how the higher frequency you go, the higher influence you can have to a certain amount of people. They've even measured it that when you get to this frequency, you have an influence over 3,000 to 6,000 people. When you get to this frequency, you get to 100,000 to 200,000. So the higher frequency you elevate. But if you're trying to go out there and just pour yourself out there, but your frequency is low, you're going to attract other low frequency people, and you're not going to really be influential. So we want to help you with that. So I'm glad you brought that up. That it matters what you do on the inside to kind of pour out in the outside.
Absolutely. I love exactly what you say. And it's all about authenticity and also being vulnerable and not trying to show your best life all the time. Not that you need to be vulnerable because you're so depressed and you're always complaining. I'm not talking about that vulnerability. I'm just talking about, just being authentic, because no one's perfect. Nobody ever will be perfect. But you can strive to grow, to become the best version of yourself. But maybe you had a bad day. Maybe you had a bad week. Maybe you're going through some issues. Don't share everything on social media. I mean, some things just keep quiet because it does cause more drama if you are too vulnerable. Okay. Yeah. But at the same time, be more relatable. So when we say that, it's just more relatability. People are like, I like him, I like her. And not that we all have to be liked and all that stuff, but we do want to be liked to a certain extent on social media. So people like following us. Okay. So we have to be attractive. And that leads me to our fifth division, which is the basic fundamental division, is the mind, body, and spirit. And that's basically removing heart walls. Maybe someone lacks clarity. They don't have vision right now for their life. They don't know what their purpose and mission is. Manuel, how important to you is not just passion, because we all can be passionate about something. We also have to develop a skill set in that passion if we want to be successful, especially financially. But really when it comes to mission, because me and you are both very spiritual guys. We're very mission oriented. We understand that this is just an extra, we're just living 75 years or whatever on this earth, maybe more, maybe less, but we also have an eternity coming. So your day-to-day, your week-to-week, how important to you is mission and purpose as you're making these choices on a day-to-day basis about yourself, your life, your profession?
Yeah, I want to resort to a Les Brown teaching that I really love. Is he talks about how your gifts and talents, let's say they were like people around you around your deathbed, and or not your deathbed, but like maybe like you're in the hospital, you're not doing well. And I love when he says that these gifts and talents are talking to you, like let's say they're personas, and they're saying we came to you, and only you could have brought us out, but now we die with you, we get buried with you. And I really feel what Dr. Bradley Nelson said, one of the most, amazing, energy healers in the world, and the author of the Emotion Code. He said that when he muscle tested people, no matter what faith or religion they are, he muscle tested them, and they said that, what were you doing before you got here? One of the powerful things he said is you were working on your gifts and talents with your creator. So I don't know about you, but if I was spending many years before I was born on my gifts and talents, and I come here and I don't use those, you're not even close to reaching their highest levels of happiness. again, the number one thing that we were born here on this planet is just to be happier. And if you can't really be that happiest if you don't use your gifts and talents. So mission is super important. And I really feel like, as the good book says, as you thinketh in your heart, so are you. It doesn't say as you thinketh in your head. That's why you were mentioning the heart wall. If you remove the heart wall,
Right.
your heart won't tolerate mediocrity. Your heart won't tolerate you not being in your mission. So I always tell people, there's a double-edged sword. If we remove your heart wall, you may hate what you're doing, but wouldn't you rather hate what you're doing, so then that way you have some sort of like beta test on where you should be, than be numb and stay in the place where you're not supposed to be? So I tell people, I'm like, it's a double-edged sword, but I'd rather be liberated than be ignorant the rest of my life.
Absolutely. No, I love that. Well, these are our 5 divisions. We also have a division of partnership with us too, as a coach and as a energy healer, where we pay them and we help them build a brand and we help them do all this. But if you are encouraged by this, look, at the end of the day, whoever's watching this on the replay, whatever, you're going through probably a major deal in your life right now when it comes to one out of these 5 divisions. And I'm not saying and me and Emmanuel are going to personally work with you on this. Maybe you like working with other women. Maybe you're a woman who wants a powerful woman as your healer and also a woman as your coach. We have so many people that we can basically introduce you to, connect you with worldwide, not just in America. We're in many, many countries right now, nationwide and also worldwide. And, it's all about asking for help. And I think a lot of times people feel weird asking for help, but it's the greatest thing that you can do. If you got a problem, fix it. All you got to do is ask for help. And it might not take 1 day or 1 week to fix everything. It might take you 90 days. But it's amazing what people can accomplish in 90 days. I mean, 90 days ago, even with me, compared to where I'm at now, it's like literally watching a movie, and it goes from like up, down, to like, oh my God, what a great ending. And it was only been 90 days. So, I mean, think about where I can't even think about where I'm going to be in 9 years from now. So it's just exciting times because I had a healer, I had a coach, I basically was a client of our own company, and it really, truly works and added tremendous value to my life. So, Manuel, any closing comments of if someone feels stuck in their life? I mean, obviously they don't have to stay stuck. They can actually do something about that. But what would you recommend they do?
So first of all, I'm a huge comic book nerd. I love, Zack Snyder's new. I'm just watching it right now. Zack Snyder's new Justice League. And
Yeah.
I just love the beginning of it, because it's almost like everyone's in denial of their calling in the beginning. It's almost we're trying to gather these people, and these amazing people. We know who they are and what they could do, but none of them, like, they have a huge resistance, a huge allergy to become. So if you're that person who's like, yeah, this sounds good, it'd be great if it could change this. It's like you're that superhero in your own movie, in denial of your greatness. And those are the best movies. And I just want to let you know that when Todd, I really feel like when I met you, you've already been through the reins of success, but I feel like you were lacking this like internal happiness and this charitable
Yeah.
person with high empathy. I feel like that guy was still in there, and from a lot of trauma you received in your childhood. Todd was that guy who was the superhero going like, yeah, it sounds great, but it just sounded like a long shot. I was there 6 years ago before energy healing. So I can relate with if that person who's like, yeah, this sounds great. I don't know if it could work for me. We all have to have our moment of denial, but it gets old. I'm telling you, it gets real old. And it's just time. If you really want this year to be different from last year, you have to do something completely different that you've never done before. It's almost alien to you. And that's okay. And that's what we had to do. We had to take a risk because going back was just not an option for us. So definitely, comment below if you're like, hey, you know what? I'll just write down change. Like, I'm ready for some type of change in my life. And maybe we could just send you information. If it makes sense for you, great. If it doesn't, hey, we'll still give you a high five, a low five. We still love you. But we want to like provide as much change as possible in this world. Do you want to share anything, Todd, at the end? Do you want to share anything?
No, I got to run, but I'm excited to keep the conversation going. I'm excited about what we're about to do as a company worldwide. I'm also excited about our new partnership with a massive, $36 million company that we're doing. And I'm getting texts right now like crazy of people like just joining us and signing up. And it's exactly what I thought. And it is just the beginning. I mean, me and you, literally, it's an honor to be partnered with you. I was just telling someone I deeply care about last night how amazing of a friend you are, how you've never judged me. You've always had my back through the thick and thin, and you are living proof of what energy healing can do. I know you're edified a lot as the top energy healer, but you literally live and breathe that in your personal life. And I'm definitely here to tell the world that you are the real deal. We've been in difficult situations together. We're running two startup and now a multi-million-dollar business. And it's been so fun. It's been so fun because we're both healing. And I know I'm on my journey. You've been on your journey for 6 years. I'm about a year and a half in when it comes to energy healing, and it's just been absolutely amazing. So thanks so much for everything that you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate this journey with you as well. And I just want to share too, on this weekend, we have an amazing event called the IOI Experience. We open up the doors for people to come in and watch the 2 special guests. And Todd and I are actually meeting for the first time since building this whole thing. We've been doing everything through Zoom. So we're working on a documentary called the Inside Divide. And it's going to be, if you like the show that Tony Robbins did, I'm Not Your Guru, imagine that 10x. That's what we're about to do. And so I'm excited to release that.
Yep.
So if you want an invitation to that event, just write down IOI, and we can see if we can maybe help you out to watch that event with us. And so thank you so much for having me on here, Todd. I appreciate all the things you do, appreciate your leadership, and we'll be in touch soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for being on. Appreciate it.
Take care.